What does she have to fear if she's telling the truth?
Blake Lively just lost it in court as Megyn Kelly relentlessly exposes her every lie. The courtroom drama is more explosive than ever, with shocking revelations and intense confrontations unfolding at every turn.
Time and time again, she accuses him of doing something, which then when you hear the full context is an absolute nothing burger.
Megyn Kelly is going all in, uncovering damning evidence that leaves no room for doubt. From text messages to jaw-dropping receipts, her legal team is laying everything on the table. Meanwhile, Blake Lively insists this amounts to actionable harassment. But with the truth spilling out, she's in full panic mode. Her carefully crafted facade is crumbling faster than anyone ever imagined, and there's no stopping the fallout.
She wants us to believe this is actionable harassment. TMZ has gotten its hands on that video, and you can hear Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni interacting as themselves, knowing that this is all on video and that this is going to be used to create this dance scene, and no such moment is shown.
Buckle up, because we're diving into the wild west of the Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively drama, and trust me, it's getting even stranger. You'll recall that key allegation in Blake's complaint where she claimed Justin crossed a line during a scene they were filming, a silent montage, no less. According to her, he leaned in, whispered something suggestive, and got a little too handsy. But hold up, TMZ got their hands on the video, and it tells a completely different story, one that might just change everything we thought we knew about this scandal.
Oh my gosh, we don't shut up.
And Emily and I we have these moments where
Blake and Justin are clearly performing for the camera, flirting, giggling, and nuzzling. It's playful and suggestive, yet entirely in the spirit of the scene they're filming.
And says, am I getting beard on you?
it smells good.
Well, it's not that. It's my body makeup.
Right. And then says, smells good. And she says, it's my body makeup. That's her big harassment moment.
You heard that right. This is no longer a simple case of one person's word against another. We're talking hard evidence, receipts, and every single detail being exposed for the world to see. Right now, Megyn Kelly is making it crystal clear. Blake Lively is not going to waltz out of this one unscathed. Kelly didn't hold back when calling Blake out for the alleged on-camera H moment. But instead of addressing the full context, Blake is acting like it's some massive violation of her boundaries. The question now is, was Blake twisting the truth all along? If she's not being truthful here, what else has she exaggerated or fabricated? The whole situation feels less like a legitimate accusation and more like an orchestrated smear campaign. This isn't the first time Blake's narrative has been questioned. Remember when she accused Justin's producing partner of showing her pornography? It turns out the pornography was actually a beautiful, artistic photo of the partner and his wife with their newborn baby after a home birth, a touching, intimate moment, completely devoid of anything inappropriate. This pattern of misrepresentation is starting to look like a disturbing trend now. Blake's own text messages have surfaced, and they paint a very different picture of her relationship with Justin. She's the one initiating contact, sending flirty messages, and even inviting him over while she's breastfeeding. It's a complete 180 from the image she's been trying to project.
Time and time again, she accuses him of doing something, which then when you hear the full context is an absolute nothing burger.
As Megyn Kelly pointed out, Blake's behavior doesn't align with her own accusations. She's been calling the shots in the media, leaking information, and attempting to paint herself as a victim throughout this entire ordeal. It seems like she's been trying to rehabilitate her image after it took a serious hit last summer due to some videos that made her look, well, less than gracious. Now, let's talk about the lawsuit Blake filed against Justin, accusing him of harassment and retaliation. But Justin has fired back with his own countersuit, accusing her of trying to silence him and damage his reputation. And make no mistake, he's not afraid to fight back. Blake has gone from leaking details of this entire situation to the New York Times to now trying to shut down any leaks coming from Justin's side. She's demanding a gag order, claiming that Justin is trying the case in the media. But let's be real, she's hardly the innocent bystander here. If anything, it looks like she's been working overtime to control the narrative. And now, She wants the power to silence anyone who threatens to expose the truth.
The only reason this whole thing got started before she filed the lawsuit, she just went to the California Human Rights Office, is because she clearly cooperated with the New York Times to leak the whole.
Megyn Kelly is not backing down, and neither is Justin's team. As she puts it, if Blake's telling the truth, what does she have to fear? Why try to suppress the evidence if everything she's saying is above board? It's simple. If she has nothing to hide, she should let everything come out. But instead, Blake is working hard to muzzle anyone who could shed light on what really happened behind the scenes. Now things are getting even juicier. During the It Ends With Us press tour, Blake and Justin were noticeably distant. No joint interviews, no red carpet pictures together at the premiere. Just a lot of speculation about a fallout between the two. While the film exceeded box office expectations upon its release in August, the behind-the-scenes drama completely overshadowed its success. And now the legal battle is officially on. A New York federal judge, J.L. Lyman, has set a trial date for March 2026. But even before stepping into the courtroom, things are already heating up. Blake's legal team is accusing Justin's lawyers of trying to sway potential jurors by setting up a website to selectively release documents and private communications between the two stars. That's right. Justin's team is allegedly leaking snippets of their interactions, showing that Blake wasn't as innocent as she claims to be. In response, Blake's lawyer has demanded that the endless stream of defamatory and extrajudicial media statements must end. Brian Friedman, who represents Justin, responded by saying they would respect the court, but added, "All we want is for people to see the actual text messages that directly contradict her allegations, the video footage that clearly shows there was no harassment, and all the other powerful evidence that contradicts any false claims." Meanwhile, Blake is asking for an order to depose a crisis management specialist she claims was behind much of the alleged social media manipulation surrounding the film, which turned public sentiment against her. The legal drama is just getting started, and the stakes couldn't be higher.
Why should Justin be able to release snippets to the media without the full context? That's what she said. That's what she did. She alleges that she's a Me Too victim there.
This whole situation is a mess, and it's only getting messier. Blake is trying to paint herself as a victim, but the evidence is beginning to stack up against her, and Justin is pushing back, determined to expose the truth. He's even said, "I will happily participate in releasing any further leaks they have because the truth should be out there." The tension between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively has taken another explosive turn, and this time, everything is laid out in the open. If you thought the drama couldn't get any juicier, buckle up, because things are about to get even messier. Remember Blake's allegations in the New York Times about Justin's alleged harassment and a supposed smear campaign against her? Well, Justin has fired back, not with more words, but with receipts. And these aren't the kind of receipts you can casually misplace in your wallet. These are the kind that could completely rewrite the narrative Blake has tried to sell to the public. Here's where things get wild. Justin and his team promised to be an open book, and they've certainly delivered. According to TMZ, Justin has released private communications with Blake, including a nearly 7-minute voice memo he sent her at 2 a.m. while they were working on their film. This could be the game changer that flips the entire situation on its head.
Hopefully it's not been the experience with me. There's nothing more exciting to me like that I get to work with Blake Lively and have her, all of her. I mean, that's what I want.
Yes, a 7-minute message. We'll get to that awkwardly long message in a second, but let's first rewind and unpack why Justin felt the need to go this far. The spark that ignited this feud? Blake allegedly wanted control over the film, but not in the typical collaborative way you'd expect. No, she allegedly tried to seize control, rewriting scenes, taking over the creative direction, and sidelining Justin in the process. What actually happened was that Justin didn't back down. Blake, however, reportedly wanted to wrest control of the film away from Justin, who was both the director and producer. She was just an actress. Now, if you know anything about Hollywood, that's not typical behavior for a co-star. A director or writer might push for more creative control, but Blake wasn't wearing either of those hats. Instead, she's accused of using her fame, and let's be honest, the weight of her husband Ryan Reynolds' celebrity, to strong-arm Justin into submission. This brings us to Justin's side of the story. He claims Blake's harassment allegations weren't just false. They were a strategic move to deflect attention from her own alleged power plays. In his words, she tried to steal the movie, and he bent over backwards to accommodate her many demands. And then there's the voice memo. Imagine receiving a 7-minute apology at 2 a.m. from someone who supposedly harassed you. Odd, right? Justin's message is drenched in desperation. He's apologizing profusely, groveling, and making it clear that he's terrified of upsetting Blake and Ryan.
Blake Lively has officially entered the chat. She just released a statement saying this is an old age story. A woman speaks up with concrete evidence of harassment and retaliation, and the abuser attempts to turn the tables on the victim. This is what experts call DARVO, deny, attack, reverse, victim, offender.
And yet, Justin Baldoni seems determined. This case isn't just about money for him, it's about clearing his name. After being dropped by WME and losing the prestigious Women's Solidarity Award amidst the harassment allegations, those accusations not only tarnished his reputation but also made him a target in the unforgiving world of cancel culture. Now, Baldoni's lawsuit appears to be just as much a quest for vindication as it is for damages. Nama Rahmani, president of West Coast Trial Lawyers, summed it up. This case is about Baldoni's truth coming out and sending a message to Lively. Rahmani sees the lawsuit as an opportunity for Baldoni to reclaim his narrative after months of public fallout. However, even with the best lawyers, the $400 million figure feels more like a headline grabber than a courtroom possibility. Entertainment lawyer Cameron Dote Shahi echoed this sentiment, calling the sum a PR move more than anything. For Baldoni to win such a massive payout, he'd need to prove that he was on the path to making $500 million before Lively and Reynolds allegedly derailed his career. A tall order even for Hollywood. So why choose such an eye-popping figure? Some believe it's all about leverage. By setting the stakes sky high, Baldoni and his team might be forcing a settlement to avoid a drawn-out, ugly courtroom battle. It's a risky move, but given the stakes of cancel culture, it's one Baldoni seems willing to take. If Baldoni somehow convinces the court that he deserves that amount, or even a fraction of it, it could devastate Lively and Reynolds' fortunes. Combined, their net worth is about $11.5 million, with Lively reportedly worth $30 million and Reynolds at $71.5 million. If Baldoni walks away with anything close to his claim, it's not just reputations at stake, it's their financial stability too. At its core, this case is about more than just numbers or media strategies. It's a battle of narratives. Blake Lively claims she was harassed and painted as a villain when she spoke out, while Baldoni insists those accusations are baseless, part of a campaign to discredit him after he bent over backward to accommodate her on set. The tension is palpable, and Hollywood insiders are watching closely. Will Baldoni's bold legal move pay off, or will it backfire spectacularly? One thing's for sure, this courtroom showdown is far from over. And if there's one thing Hollywood loves, it's a juicy scandal. Stay tuned, because as this story unfolds, it's bound to get even more explosive. Both Justin and Blake are playing with fire, and someone's going to get burned.